Trigger warning. This episode may contain content that could be distressing to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the New Earth Studios podcast, Bring Your Truth with Alex Roseman. We'll be bringing on guests that will be bearing their soul, their transformational journey from the old earth to the new earth, bringing about the balance of duality and reshifting our perspective of how we see things, because in the new earth, it's all about love, it's all about inclusion, it's all about unity. So if this is something that you're interested in and you want to put your focus in unity, unification and love, this is a podcast for you. Thank you so much and hope you enjoy the show. Well, it's lovely to see you again, Dr. Aaron. After the last conversations, it opens up to more questions because you have such a wealth of knowledge, and I would love to touch on what you just shared. This whole where you are now. The fact that you're with clients that right now maybe not be accessible to everybody, but you are working out ways of how to make this accessible to everybody. But this is still something that might be hard for people to grasp. So we can go into it a little bit before even touching on my results, so people can actually understand what is this all about. And I leave it to you, and we'll just go from there. But anybody who's watching this, we've done the first episode, so you can check that out and get a little bit of background about who Dr. Aaron is and what this whole process is all about. And then, of course, you understand where these results are coming from.
So like you said, I'm at the moment with the client because we offer this special service of creating a home healing solution. And of course, many people are lucky who can afford something like this, because when you have everything at home, you're constantly working daily on your health, because one part of our system is doing diagnostics daily and then applying a cure and modifying all the machines what that person needs for that day. Because there's no something is wrong and you come and you get a cure and now you take that for a year or 3 months, or we actually change all the time. We're daily changing. So our therapy and our healing needs to be modified all the time, because we're never the same, and also there's no one fit all, meaning that each treatment is modified for that person specifically, uniquely. So of course, and prevention wise, we're not talking illnesses. Sadly, I'm here in United States because of certain cancers and very bad situations. And of course, we already, after a few days of treatment, we saw huge improvements. But I'm saying, when people get this in their home, their family starts to use, because I talk with them, because we don't have to wait for the things go completely shit. Sorry, my expression, but we need to act in on time, because especially with cancers, that doesn't happen overnight. It's something that develops and cooks for quite a bit. And so regarding that, when we constantly use in your home, you can prevent many things, but also heal. But of course, there are a few lucky people who can afford this at the moment, but we are working on it, something that will be connected to the iPhones or smartphones, so that we could scan even other people, and that people can get their medical data and kind of constantly update and modify their way of life according to their scans. Because like I said, diagnostics are not made to diagnose you with the illness, but diagnostics are supposed to be to guide you and that you prevent illness. that would support all of these needs, and something that's why people go to checkups once a year and everything that but they're not deep enough to really see, and they're mostly focused on the symptoms. But if you don't have, if you don't have symptoms, it doesn't mean that something is not cooking in you and that you need certain address. But so we're working on that. Actually, we also have partners that we're working. They're also coming with one. It's called breathalyzer. So it's actually already it's called Promac, and it's already in development, and with UK government also, that it will be sponsored to get it free, meaning in your home. And it started firstly for testing of because they during the COVID they were focusing on kind of something for that, but it developed to something much bigger. And of course, it's not as wide range what we do, but it's also that people can, without going anywhere, can monitor something regarding certain viruses, bacteria, and certain things happening in their body just by blowing into it. And then it also has application and from your breath to kind of get certain data. So we are working to, like, for everybody, and constantly developing technology. Actually, when I say working, it's not me personally, but the team that actually is inventors and scientists behind this technology, because I'm just a doctor who is using it.
You know what? Just to touch on, why did you decide to become a doctor? Why did you step into this field? How did this even come to you? We didn't touch this on the first one. I think it's really important. It chose you.
It shows me. Yeah, because I was going in completely different direction. Actually, I finished actually first school. Later, I went more medical school and different things of everything. But firstly, I finished master degrees in business, in entrepreneur, and so on. And I was working actually also, but I got sick very badly. And of course, even nobody could find solution for me. Nobody could tell me even what is wrong with me, actually. And I went to everybody. So, and that brought me to the journey that I actually found all this technology. And one of the first mentor that actually helped me and found by what I had, actually I caught in Africa certain parasites that attack my brain, and you can lose the sight from it. It's called on Hrvoje volvulus. They call it river blindness in Africa. And using the plasma generator, without any medicine, Rife machine, I managed to heal myself. And actually, it was funny that during a session of coming to this doctor in Bratislava, actually, and it was like I was learning medicine. But I didn't learn this. So, and the guy was like fully busy. Actually, I accidentally got a place because he was busy in a year in advance. And something opened up, and he's like, doesn't have time for anybody. But next day, when he found I was healing, I came to him, and he looked at me and has said, like, yesterday in my dream, he's very connected to Jesus. That's his way. So and he said, Jesus came to me, told me that I need to teach you everything what I know. And I said, okay, I'm here. So, and I kind of, and even in my spiritual practice, I was guided to come there by many things. And so it was like something was pushing me, and even that illness was not, which I always say, it was not a curse. It was just universe directing me that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. So every time I share with everybody, basically, when something like that happened to us, we should not be a victim, but ask maybe I'm on completely wrong way. Maybe this is, and not take it as a, victim and why me, and but say, okay, universe, you're giving me this, what I need to change, where I need to kind of step back or go in different direction. So if that answer your question, I was directed, pushed.
That's a beautiful, yeah. Well, you know, you could have lost your sight, but ultimately, ironically, this was a disease that was going to take away your sight, but really, it gave you your true sight. It helped you actually to see, which was linked to Yeshua, you know, helping the blind to see. And this is what it's all about, is lifting the veil. And your gift is to access something here that is outside the model of medicine that it is now. And I've gone on my own path, as you know, and just to share a little bit from what the doctors said and from the blood results and everything else, and it'd be interesting to see what yours came back as, that my testosterone, certain aspects of it were low and some estrogen was high, like the hormones were disbalanced. But they said, after checking the other bits and pieces, oh, you're fine. I went to a naturopath and she said, well, potentially might be a parasite and XYZ. So, you know, that's the naturopath way. So coming to what you might share in a bit, it'd be quite interesting to see from that perspective, because it's ultimately different perspectives. They can only see from how they've been trained to see the body. And how they see the body, they see it in that way, and they're sort of limited based on sort of the education and their understanding. Now we have this new information of quantum mechanics and quantum physics, and you know, this whole new perspective that you shared before, and you may dive in a little bit more, that gives us a whole new perspective of how we look at ourselves and how we can now treat illnesses and ailments that maybe modern medicine just are not able to cure. Like you said, you go in deeper, so you can start to see what is, you know, simmering before modern medicine can identify. And by then, it's usually treating the symptom, as you said. So you're looking at the cause before it's even become a cause. And so then you can prevent whatever might be sort of showing up. So I just wanted to share that, and, you know, hearing about your direction of how you got into this. This is where we're going. People don't want to wait until it's too late, you know, to go through that endless suffering. This is why we have the, you know, New Earth Cafe, is for at least preserve your body, eat well, because food be thy medicine. And that obviously all plays a factor. You know, if I looked at my blood and everything else, it's, you know, thankfully there's certain types of food have helped. Going into, you know, this field, and for those who have listened to the first podcast and now they're listening to this, how would you then what would you like to bring into the equation before we go into looking at my results, just to give people an idea of what we're looking at?
Basically, then I will actually share something from your report, and regarding, and I will focus on one subject. The only thing we have to know that this report is that they're done quite a long time. So I don't have your new report, and we need to take into account that, you know, in the meantime, it's not as it was when you did the scan, because I think scan was done more than a month ago. But taking that into account, I will take it from one perspective, because I definitely agree, because I also saw there is certain parasitic, I would not say infection or something like that, but like in general, I would say people, without going to my test or any test, once a year to do parasite cleanse, one to do heavy metal detox and general detox once a year. It's kind of basic thing, and you cannot go wrong. And when I'm saying cleanse, not pharmaceutical drugs, but there are certain, like the most famous is Dr. Hulda Clark method, I would also recommend that you do like certain black walnut, cloves, and wormwood, like just to reduce, because actually we all have parasites. So don't get me wrong, like, because they also have a purpose. So it's not just bacteria has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Even viruses have a purpose. So, and everything is there for us. But sometimes that goes into too much, and then becomes more damaging. So we need to look at it a little bit from different perspective. But so definitely cleansing of that. But I would focus something that what they didn't give it to you and what we give to the clients. And I will focus on that. So we measure cellular voltage. So what is cellular voltage of the organs? So like if we look at your every cell, I think it has 0.7 volts. And how many, trillions of cells we have? We have like some kind of 34,000 trillion volts in our body. So we like powerhouse. We can there's nothing more stronger than us. So that's why when people come going to the Reiki, going to certain energy treatments, everybody can awaken that energy, because it's a dormant. You're like there's all energy you need in life. You don't need anything else. Of course, we are not on that level that we are aware of ourselves and our body and everything. So for now, we need help from different technology and think to awaken that, and different healers and different other. But I always say to each of my clients, don't forget that you don't need me. You have everything in you. But will not say I will not leave you, I will support you, but at least that you know that, because that you're not attached to me or to anybody, that but that slowly saying, oh, I want to know my power, I want to be in control. So taking on that. So but each organ has its own voltage, and when we measure it from 0 to 100, simple, let's say simple, and let's say perfect health of the organ is between 40 and 60%, in the middle. So what's the problem goes, like, let's say, I will not say even illness, but something when it's off. So organ can go above 60 and below 60. So in simple term, it can be in overfunction, excess of energy, too much energy, or low energy, no energy. And when we speak of low voltage, to make people more familiar, voltage is more scientific term, but in Chinese medicine we would call it qi. In Ayurvedic medicine we'd call that prana. But it's but we're talking about the same thing. And what it is, so when organ is in a perfect ratio, it's like it has that ability to defend itself, to heal itself, to function. Because when we take, we cannot, we need, our organisms were made by, if you want to say, God, universe, higher power, but we were made by some architect, some divine design. Okay, and by itself, without our intervention, if it works properly, it can fix anything, it can heal anything. We don't need too much be of our ego saying that we will make something better. So that's very arrogant of human race. But so let's have that basic, let it function. So when it goes in overfunction, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's actually organ is like attacked, and we saw that during the COVID. So we measure, during infections of the lung, different ones, not just this. So if person got infection on the lung, and we measure it, and we see that his lungs went in overfunction, he recovered very fast. He didn't actually have, his voltage of the lungs and other things went in some power that his own body dealt with it. But people who end up in hospital on oxygen and so on, like different things, that the body couldn't fight it. When we measure them, their organs were in underfunction. So actually, we see that that there is something wrong of your own capability of the body to function, and when it's losing chi, prana, voltage. That is essential. So we measure that. And I will go now to your report to share which organs for you actually were in underfunction. Because on the first scan, it's not so important to look what organs are overfunction, because if they're enough overfunction, they're fixing something. So it doesn't have to be, we don't have to look at it bad. But that's why we do, when we have clients, we do every month scanning, and if we see that organ is too long in overfunction, then it's a problem, because then it's maybe autoimmune reaction. So the body is fighting with it something, but over, so we and then it becomes a problem, because then body attack itself, not just something bad, but then we need to find why is that happening in the first place. So underfunction is something that and this is the basic, that what we do, how to return and restore that organ to be in to return that chi, to return that voltage. And many of our technology and machines just work like that. So even without our interference, it's already helping a person to heal, because in the end, you can do a bunch of treatments and give a bunch of medicine, but not helping that person because his own healing abilities are not functioning right. So even if person that comes to us and then goes to take also conventional medicine, Western medicine, Chinese medicine, whatever he does, but if we return him his own ability to heal, everything will also work. It will be much better. But you can take bunch of pills and your organ is not functioning, your ability is not working. So, like it will not externally will not give you results as you want. Of course, certain herbs, why herbs work, and they mostly give chi, they mostly give voltage, they restore organ. It's not they healing actually the illness, but they restore your kidney, they restore, so that there's a certain herbs for, so they mostly return your own ability, and then through that your body take care of it. So looking at your scan, so like I saw your pancreas and liver and lymphatic system were in low. So meaning even liver 18%, 15% lymphatic system, and pancreas 10%. Okay. And now we're not saying, we are learn, oh, something is wrong with me, I'm sickness. What I like, that's our whole way of thinking. So it's just like organ is not functioning. So of course we look deeper why, but let's restore it. Because like pancreas, for example, when people had it long time in underfunction, they suddenly developed diabetes. But that then didn't happen. They went to the doctor, it's all fine, sugar is fine, sugar is fine, sugar is fine. But that organ, pancreas was in lower function for 2 years, let's say. So now we would also monitor to see, is it something momentarily that it went down and why? And I found certain fluke, pancreatic fluke. It's a certain parasites that you had on the pancreas. So that can kind of, that's why I said to you, it's good to do detox of parasitic, because that can bring it down. But sometimes it can just bring it down by being, stressed, not sleeping enough, so it doesn't have to be long term. So you can sleep 3 nights. That's why I said we cannot take your scan now regarding this subject from a month ago. We would need new, but if I see that it's still now in a low function, that would indicate many other things.
We did one a month before that one as well.
I haven't seen that. So
So it might be, if I see that, then it says low, then
yes, so I can look in that. So privately, I will look more into that on there from your data, because it's not on my computer, and in my it's on with Longevity Hub, it's with them. So and like liver, it's like also a lymphatic system is low. So especially in all lymphatic system and liver, they're both like kind of very important of removing the flushing, the toxins and everything. So then when we look at other things, like there are increased zirconium and tin and glyphosate, if I said it right. So that comes mostly from food, and also a little bit increased of HR flori. That's like a bacteria in the stomach. So we all have it, but like we're saying, this is small adjustments. So and when we now, like for example, you are in our clinic or you are going to there to, so we apply treatment for that, and in 1, 2, 3 days, it depends, because in your case nothing is, it's a little bit increased. So you help your body to deal with it, where it came from. Like many people ask me, oh, I have lead, I have aluminum, like I have this, where it came from. We can guess, because machine machine is great for testing, but it's not psychic. It will not tell you went to that restaurant and ate that food, or we get it all over the place, but mostly, in today time, people need to talk what drugs they take. Did they take vaccinations? Like things like that are, it's very important to look. And I'm not here to say it's good or bad something, but if you put something in your body, at least read the label and research what you're putting, and what it can bring with it, not just somebody told me to do something or whatever. So we need to like little bit think. And even if we do something, then we need to, okay, it's not to feel bad or did something wrong or whatever, but I need to detox myself, I need to clean myself, I need to repair. So in that sense, so I cannot tell you where it came from, but I could, definitely would put, like now also, to clean you from these certain things, and increase of these organs that we mentioned. And this is, like I said, we don't focus on the symptoms, we focus on the cause. So sometimes people come to me with the skin illness, or lack of sleep, or pain somewhere, or whatever. But I told them, like I told you, like pancreas, something liver and gut, and certain things. And they say, but that's not my problem. Everything is fine there, Mike. But the holistically, that's the root problem, which then lead to one thing, and that's because took you to the symptoms that you have. Because we need to look at our system as a whole. I can give an example from my mom, for example. We help her by stopping certain medications. Because first, like any in family, you're doing something, but mom goes to the doctor, like it's not really listening to the son, and she had problem with thyroid. She went to the doctor with the thyroid, gave her something for the thyroid. Okay. But the root was not in the thyroid. And many doctors that I don't go now lecture about every treatment and every cause of the problem, but only 20%, if thyroid doesn't work, it's probably 80% is something else. And no, they don't look that. So you give something for the thyroid and you can actually slow it more down, but that medicine had side effects for the heart. And after a while, my mom developed arrhythmia, but because of the medicine. So, and then when she went to the doctor for the heart, he didn't like, oh, you have this. And he gave her medicine, which you cannot give to a person who has problem with thyroid. So so it's like when we look at the body, it's not, you cannot look at it segment by segment and healing segment by segment.
Sounds like a game of whack-a-mole. One comes up, next one up, and but that system perpetuates. I mean, that way perpetuates the system. It's ideal for the system if they're consciously doing it or not, because if they can obviously subscribe, and if that person pays, and then that problem occurs, and then another doctor gets to see that person, and they get paid, and it kind of like they're feeding into the system more and more the more medication they give, because then they have to see another doctor, then they have to see another doctor. If they treated the root cause, then that person would be out of the system. Then who would they be, ping-ponging around?
Yeah, but I'll not go there, because I always say, like we talked last time, that system is great for emergency. We need it, and because chemical substance like pharmaceutical drugs can save your life if you need it. It can save your life, but to treat illnesses, that's we need to talk more about it. I will not say, I don't want to attack anybody, but we need to think about it at least. That is not the way to do it. So everything, you start with one medication, you end up with 10. And this is actually that one of the leading cause in the world of death is not actually from the illness, but from the side effects of the medicine. You died from the treatment, actually, not from, and for misdiagnostics also. That's also a big one. So like I said, this one, I'm not saying that, this our diagnostic needs to replace Western medicine diagnostic. It needs to be integrated, because we need everything. We need the blood test, we need the quantum scan, we need we need as much as possible data to move forward. The only thing why people coming more to us, because with this type of diagnostics, you can check yourself more often, and because it's not invasive, and it's not, it cannot harm. It's like mostly like a guidance system to guide you in the right direction, and it's not focusing on diagnosing the symptoms. So it has a purpose. So actually what we are doing, me and you, and it's like now is like bringing that awareness to everybody, to even to the doctors and whoever is listening, that is like we need to work together to create something better for the humanity.
Absolutely. like you said perfectly, it's not about getting rid of one thing. It's absolutely necessary. But there are other perspectives. And if we come together and look at somebody, we can start to see the whole. Because somebody's educated in a certain way, they only perceive the body in some way, and they can miss the very thing that could be soon causing an illness later. But when you're there to safeguard it, it's beautiful. Like you're telling me about my liver and pancreas, and you know that they're potentially it's low. What you've noticed within the quantum test, and they haven't been able to spot it. It could then become a problem later. But you are suggesting a naturopathic way, which is at least do a cleanse, which I feel like I would love to do that. So it'd be great to get the name of that doctor you said recommended, so to bring that about. And what would you suggest is the best way for people to clean themselves out of metals and all that sort of stuff?
So with parasites, I will give like a few remedies, like which are free. Let's you don't even, if you take in the evening 3 dates and you have that with pumpkin seeds and some papaya seeds for a month for dinner, you will take a lot of parasites out. Just by that. And it's nice. It's actually very tasty. So we don't have to, be, like you said at the beginning, what is the medicine, what you provide, food, like simple. But you can add Dr. Hulda Clark program, Hulda Clark anti-parasitic program. And on the top of that, we make our own tinctures from the fresh herbs, but like already done. So I would also ask, because, you look at also when I mention you, like pancreas, and so I would look at what's her name, Louise Hay. So, I would look at maybe, do I have liver? Do I have some anger inside? Something irritates me, like maybe I'm pulling from there, and doesn't have to be that I'm an angry person, but was it this week something that agitated me and that brought your organ liver? So like when we talk about health, let's talk about that everybody understands. It's not that we doctors pretend to be smart and giving certain diagnoses and everything. Simple. It's not that I'm smarter. You need, because I'm doctor, I'm smarter than you. It's very simple when it comes to health. We need to look at simple things that we understand and do simple adjustments, and by that we do great things for our health. So the same with pancreas, so it's all like very simple method. Also, you look at, for example, which for pancreas, maybe there's certain other herbs which needs to be done, but I saw also your microbiome is not perfect. So meaning microbiome is a good bacteria. So, but nobody is perfect. So don't take me, but what we measure is I see exactly which probiotic good you need. Exactly. So that's why taking the general one, like taking 34 strains of billions of bacteria actually can harm you. It's not good, because you need to first find what you're missing and add that, not just randomly putting stuff into you.
Well, that's what most people are doing. They're guessing in the dark, because like I went to the doctor and I, documented myself. The money goes up very quickly on the cost of people taking on these, blood tests and everything else. And he didn't even identify what you're talking about. So I would be keen to, obviously, as you share this, how do I get these probiotics? Obviously, you've been withholding on me, Dr. Aaron, and, and I'm just kidding. That, I can obviously, this is something that we can purchase directly from you, your
No,
organization?
I can guide you because my clients get guidance what works. So, I will send you a few links, and I will do my best to send you what's now in Emirates where you are. So of course, but certain things, for example, I found that one of the best probiotics came from Italy. It's a company came Bromatech, and I'm just advertising, but I'm not getting anything from, like, because, I always share with my clients, and many companies that work, they don't even know that I'm endorsing them, but I'm buying these things because I saw that they work. What they do, they separate strains. So you have like 24 different products, but with different strains separately. And then you take only the ones that you need. Also, I heard that from them, I heard in the world, South Korea is one of the best in making good bacteria. There are certain things from Russia and United States, and I will share with you certain things which are good. Like there's so much with microbiome that, there's many lectures, and that would be in separate podcast. We can talk 2 podcasts about good bacteria. Like for example, one of the strains you can melt in the mouth, you will not have any teeth problem. You don't need even washing fluoride, and you actually kill that good bacteria. But if you ingest this specific strain, people say to me, who will give like, wow, I had so much problem with going to the dentist, and just actually I wash my with some natural fluoride free toothpaste, and then with just putting this bacteria in the mouth, which needs to be there to protect it and fight all the bad ones. So and it's beautiful. So actually, you missing some of that, so I will share it with you later. So
I don't know how I'm still alive.
Yeah, no, but we are all, we are sterilized. Like the food that comes there's no bacteria on it. Even in the organic shop, because they need to sterilize it, because if you have good bacteria, I remember when I was young, you take an apple, put it at home, next day it's already rotten. Next day. Because it has bacteria on it, which already starts to, so, and when you eat, you ingest that bacteria. But today time, there's no that bacteria, so you need to add it through supplements, sadly. So we are like, it's not you, it's like everybody. We cannot if taking certain good bacteria, but like I said, not any and everything, it's actually one of the essential to increase your microbiome, which is essential for many things.
I just want to touch about how important it is that you mention it, because the gut, is the second brain. And if it's not functioning, we can lead to depression, lead to ADHD, and, all these other ailments. And I went to a clinic, a very expensive clinic a few years ago, and they told me about a certain gut thing that if I was missing something, but they couldn't find a specific thing for me. And it doesn't matter what I was looking for, and I don't know if I ever really got it sorted. It doesn't sound like I have. But even these expensive places couldn't really find it, couldn't really put their finger on it. And it's wonderful that one doesn't have to go all the way to Spain and to this clinic. They can come to your, to your clinic or Longevity or New Earth to do a test like this, and you have the answers. You know where you source it from, and that is nearly just as important because of your information, that wisdom, and it's obviously your care that you're able to pinpoint to go, this is exactly what you need. And it's refreshing because ultimately that's what I've been seeking. That's why you're here, to actually know, thank you, this is what it is. I'll take that. Let's do a test in a month's time and see where I'm at. So I really appreciate that you're sharing this. And I'm sure other people maybe be able to relate to that. And I'm going to, whatever you send to me, I'm going to put it in the link so people can maybe check it out. And of course, to find you. So no, I just wanted to acknowledge that.
If you don't know, I can tell people if they don't, nobody can test. It's always good when you take good bacteria to find separate strains and take them separately. So you just not to take them together, yeah. Like, because when they're mixed together, because some of them, even this company from Italy, they create different capsules, meaning different time release capsules, because one bacteria needs to open in small intestine and some in large intestine. But if they all open in the same place, it's not their inhabitant. So if you put something good in the wrong place, it's also not purpose. So by just increasing all of them, but with the right thing and separately, it's better, even if you don't know what it is. The second thing, and then after that, to give yourself things that multiply them, that helps them grow. So, and these two things, even if people like don't know what to do, it will already help them a lot. But just not to taking these very expensive ones, which is like everything mixed in billions and trillions, and then they charge I don't know how much money because you think that you're buying something. So that's already a nice way to address it.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else that you would feel that's necessary or people worth them knowing about my results?
So, for example, we see that your glutathione levels,
yeah,
are low. So it means that, but we already see that liver is in underfunction, and where the glutathione is produced, liver. So we already here, we have now a little bit puzzle is kind of falling into place, that, we need to specifically work on the liver, but we don't have to add glutathione, for example. It's always better to add precursor to support your liver to produce it, like organ to produce it naturally. So I would rather tell you take NAD, amino acid, which will help with the production of glutathione. So, and taking something which is, great for the liver. There are many herbs for that. So we see also here certain omegas are lower, not all of them, but certain, but that was before. So, and also like for example, your selenium at that time was low, selenium. But I wouldn't give you, now get one more supplements in your but I would say take Brazilian nuts every day for 30 days and then see. And even one Brazilian nut has enough selenium for a person in that day. Of course, we need to all the time with the nuts check also allergies and everything, because some of them can be quite, especially Brazilian, can be quite high. So always take a little bit, and if you never had Brazilian nuts, just have a tip of it just to see. If you had it before, then it's fine. But I'm just saying for people that just don't jump into, always safety. Even when we hold certain nuts in our hand, even without tasting, we can see if we feel like itching or something that we can learn about. So like, for example, that would be my advice. And so I never go into the, because we also say B9, B2. So you were at that moment deficient with these certain things, but I would always go with certain foods, and that have it in themselves, like Like if you, for example, even, I don't know, now maybe, I always try to be politically correct. So, but you can never please everybody, but there's ancient nutrition and certain carnivore diet and everything, eating organs. So, but when you have a problem with the liver, have a liver, eat a liver. But even liver is most the nutrient dense. You can get all the vitamins and minerals from the liver. But all the vegetarian vegans, I'm sorry, like it's not that I'm forcing anything, but I'm just saying facts. So when you eat that, and you cannot eat liver more than 2 times a week, because you can get over vitamin or mineral, like you can get that you eat too much of vitamins. And they say this, that in ancient time, that's called ancient nutrition. These guys said that people, when they were sick, they were eating the organs from the healthy animals, which they have problem with the lung, they ate lungs. So, and that was giving nutrients and stuff for the lungs, so there are many ways. Of course, if person are vegan, there's other ways to do it, so it's not must only way to do it, but it's just one people who like eating meat and everything, also to look into organs, because organs are more important, especially when we know collagen, like bone broth. This is really, really essential. And you have now collagen peptides and all these, which are actually stimulating your own production of collagen, even in the old age, which, like my mom made beef soup for 24 hours cooking bones. And, and when you eat that soup, that was like, if it gets cold, it's all like gelatin.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, I remember from the childhood. I don't eat that much because my wife is vegan now, so that makes me a vegan at home also. When I travel, I'm not, but
Balance.
But like let's test, like it's not, we test people and we tell them what is good for them. But there are many muscle testing you can test. Is this food good for me? Even like if it takes you further, like it's good for you, if it's kind of repels you, like we can, our body is also a testing machine. So we can always like ask and guide ourselves in that direction. We teach them how to do it. We teach them how to do muscle tests. We teach them how to do energetic healing. We teach them how to do certain energetic. So when client comes to us, it's not I give you this, I educate you so that you know how to hold mudras. Like I can tell you that if anybody has a problem with heart attack, for example, feeling pain, something is happening, immediately take this finger, put the thumb on it, put these 2 fingers on it, and on both hands like this, and you can save yourself from heart attack. It's called heart mudra.
Wow.
Meaning you can hold it and go to the hospital, like hold it and
Never
and then
heard of that before.
that somebody gives you, or and you put canned pepper in, like tablespoon of canned pepper, and hold this. You will burn, but you will save your life.
Because it opens the capillaries, right?
Yes,
Or
yes.
something like that.
And canned pepper is actually one of the healthiest things you can do, because it's actually it actually can heal the wounds inside, not to cause bleeding, but it can also open the veins, like you said.
We have some cayenne pepper shots and things that we do here.
Perfect.
So when you come here, we'll have a shot. In fact, what you just shared there, I would love to maybe do a mini kind of talk workshop where people get to know you if you're in Dubai here, where you can show some of this, what you just shared. And that could lead into obviously people going deeper into the quantum testing and everything else.
Like I said, everything what we just spoke, we do 2 things. This is cutting edge technology, and I can talk about that. But I also am a doctor of naturopathic medicine, and I can take you to your kitchen, and that you find that every medicine you have in your, maybe, with with herbs in your kitchen, how to make your own medicine, and things without technology. So, but we do everything. We also teach people that, because my thing is that client doesn't need me. That's my point. Not I because I have so much new client. I don't need you anymore. You're high. You do come as less as possible. Go there. Go somewhere else. But you have tools. You now know. Give somebody new so that we can educate everybody, and that we don't need doctors.
That is beautiful, because then you're pulling people out of the system, going, you can take care of yourselves. We just need to be educated, and this is the whole point of, obviously, why we're bringing this information out there. Because obviously, I'm a seeker myself. I was let down. I say I was let down by the system. My mother died of cancer when I was 9, so she suffered the moment. My younger brother was born 14 months younger, and a lot of it was psychosomatic, I believe, and watching cancer eat away at somebody, and you're wondering, it's a lot of anger around there. And, especially with something like that, it starts eating away at the body. And as a child, you feel helpless. So it's about empowering that little child now, and knowing that, this can be prevented so that other children don't have to go through something like this. Though I also see it as, it's my dharma, my life path. This is what was supposed to happen. But, she didn't die in vain. And, you're coming into my reality. How do we bring this out to communities? What can we do to make sure people know this information all around the world, that the herbs, that we need to protect our Mother Nature, because it actually is our medicine. And if we work with it, we can really bring abundance to our lives.
Yeah. So, for example, I'm joining group now in it's in India. It's called Maiwir Group, and this is just one example, because it's not just educating the client, but we are here. We educating doctors and educating other practitioners, so that they implement everything what we do in their own clinics. So and that's also, and they continue that, like, how you say, pay it forward, move it forward, and so we have, like, because I will never be able to see more people, actually. I always don't like to expose myself publicly more, because it just brings me more work. And actually, I'm trying to, I have 3 little kids, and I want them also to have a father, and to know me, so it's like balance in life, but I'm looking for help for other people who are mostly to learn, and to study, and that I share what I know, and they will always share with me, because when I'm teaching somebody, I always learn something also. It's like all the time that exchange. It's not that I know everything, but actually learn by teaching others. I learn more, and I prove myself. But we need to remove that ego, and that we know all, and constantly ask and update our technology, update our practices. And even if you are the best homeopathist or best herbologist, implement some new technology, do better, do something more. And we offer that, to share that, all that knowledge and technology with everybody.
Well, I'll be keen to send you my my blood work now, and see what you think about that parasite. But as you said, if you just do a parasite cleanse, I feel like just a lot of people will relate to that. Just that advice alone may shift a lot of things in people. And I think, this is what it's about. People could listen to this one time and it may change their lives. And, that's a beautiful impact to leave on people, just because you showed up for an hour, and you just imparted it, even though you are pretty jet lagged and flying around for different clients. And as you said, the last thing you need is actually more clients. So it'd be wonderful to work in such a way that we make this accessible, be smart of your time, that, put something together like a course, you know, where it's recorded and people can evergreen product buy and use it, you learn it, and then you can reach everybody and you shoot it once.
For now, we have we have an academy, university, basically a school for the doctors and therapists, but we are also working on an academy for the clients.
That's wonderful.
So it's already in progress,
Of course it
and
is.
hopefully next year it will be also up. But you know, maybe we can direct together, because in that area also through your network and through, you know, I'm very happy, because it doesn't matter which way, just needs to get there out there.
Of course, absolutely. No, I agree, and happy to assist you in whatever is needed to make this a reality for so many people who are just not aware of it yet.
It's funny, like, you know, we actually never met, and that this is the beauty. And I will leave you one story, you know, but because I actually feel for you that I know you like for 20 years, you know, like there's some kind of a natural and that's just taught us how there's much more to us that we don't understand. And we for sure have some history, who knows which lives before. But I will leave you something what I heard yesterday. Some person told me a story that one lady was so sick, and she was like lying in a bed, and she was like, you know, like kind of giving up, and everybody was like try and everything, and she looked at out of her window. There was like a tree, like with the leaves that grows on the building, you know, like something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's certain kinds. So, and she said, you know, like, and that she was all looking at, and then suddenly came, you know, fall, and that leaves started to change colors, and you know, and fall off, you know. And then she said, you know, that when the last leaf goes, I will go, you know, like that's it, you know. So they heard that story, but one of the neighbors went there, and he painted one leaf, okay, and that leaf he constantly repainted, meaning when it's like change color, you know, like, so, and actually that leaf saved her life. She never gave up. Oh, that leaf didn't fall, it came back. In her head, I am coming back. So just like wonderful story that I heard. I kind of made it short, but it's a beautiful how we can inspire and take care of each other, and just keep that hope and direction that, you know, like we can fight anything. Yeah.
It's the power of belief, and it's never to be underestimated. And I think when you shift the perspective like you have, it's allowing people to have a new type of belief away from the old system, and actually really connecting to an older system with what you're bringing about, the plants that have been here the whole time, but with modern medicine or modern approaches, which I love it. It's the ancient and the modern coming together. And that's what you are, that's what you've been gifted. This is why Yeshua, the energy, came to you, because obviously you had something in your lineage that needed to be activated within your genome to bring this about to the masses. And here we are connecting for whatever reason, and I'm sure it will all unfold as time goes on. But you're like a brother from another life. We just bumped into each other again, which is awesome. And I'm looking forward to having you here in person. And I'm sure once you just confirm dates and things, maybe we can put a little event on if you have time.
No, I will definitely make time. We always have time. You just need to arrange it in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really appreciate you. And well, look, I'll be looking forward to getting the bits and pieces. Maybe I'll do a little cleanse beforehand, and then just share people, and you know.
And I will scan you personally when I'm there.
That'd be wonderful. An honor.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All the best, and thank you for having me.
Always.
Okay. Ciao.
Ciao.
We vibe when you subscribe.